Hey everyone, Shane here with Ultra-Fab. Today I have a 2021 Dutchman Coleman Lantern Travel trailer. I'm going to walk through how to install the Ultra-Fab Scissor Jacks. Adding scissor jacks onto your camper, whether you're replacing them or adding new ones on, are going to help stabilize and support any movement that you may have in your camper when you get to the campsite. So when you get to the campsite, you can lower your jacks down. It's going to help support it. Our customer here has electronic stabilizer jacks. Or powered ones, and it just wasn't stabilizing enough, so he wanted to add 4 of these on. So we're putting them in the corners, and it'll help stabilize this camper even more when you're walking around inside. It's not going to move as much. Now these are going to come in many different sizes and weight capacities. You just want to make sure before you order them, if you're replacing them, match them up with the ones you have. If you're not replacing them and you're adding them, make sure you look underneath your camper for any obstructions to make sure you don't get some that are going to be too big to where they're actually sticking out the sides. This is what our jack is going to look like when it's collapsed. It's going to be about 4 3/4 of an inch wide, thick, and about 33.5 inches long. So again, make sure you measure the underside wherever you're planning on putting them to make sure that when it's folded up, this end is not sticking out. When installing them, you want to make sure that this end is facing out and not towards the inside, because this is how you raise it and lower it. It is going to have a worm gear on the inside. Very durable worm gear. You can see a very large foot plate, so it gives us plenty of stability when we have it on the ground or on a pad. This is what they're going to look like when they're extended and touching the ground. This is going to be your worm gear. We're going to have a 30-inch total travel, 30 inches of total travel, which is how far it can be extended, and a 6,500 pound weight capacity. Also, there are different components you can buy for this, or you can purchase for this. One of them, for instance, is a socket that goes on that has an extension. You put it in a drill and it'll help raise and lower these a little bit quicker. Jacks are going to come in a set of 2. The installation process is pretty straightforward. The hardest part about it is going to be determining where you want to put them if you're not replacing ones you already have. They're not going to come with the mounting hardware. I suggest getting some large self-tapping screws because most of your frames on these are going to be enclosed frame tubes. So get some pretty large self-tappers. There's going to be a plate on each side of the jack that has 4 holes in it, so it gives you plenty of options for angling it a certain way so that you can mount it to the frame rail. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's walk through how to get them installed. Start your installation. If you're adding them on and you don't have them already, like our customer here, they actually have electric stabilizer jacks, and we're adding these on to give them a little more stability. If you're just adding them on, we want to try and get those to as close to the corners as possible without them hanging out the front or the sides. The only place we can really do it up here is on the A-frame that goes out to the tongue, but we don't want to go too far forward because the customer is actually going to be putting a generator up there, and the propane tanks, he's going to have a bracket made so they sit over here on the side. So we can't go too far forward, so we're going to stay right about this area, kind of right at this corner here. All you want to do is you're going to raise it up and you want to touch it against the bottom of the frame rail where you're going to be installing it. The installation hardware does not come with it. What I suggest is getting some very large self-tapping screws to install it. We're going to put 2 on each side. You're going to have 4 holes in the bracket, so depending on how you have it placed, you can use any of those 4 holes. I'm going to use 2 on one side, 2 on the other. Once you get one installed, you're going to repeat the process for any other ones you're installing. It's going to do it for a look at an installation of the Ultra-Fab Scissor Jacks on a 2021 Dutchman Coleman Lantern Travel trailer.